let's get our boxing gloves on and take a look at Cowboy Bob Orton. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at From the Legends Series 13, Cowboy Bob Orton. Here he is. And yes, if you're not a big fan of wrestling, but yes indeed, this is Randy Orton's daddy, Cowboy Bob Orton. Big, strong, tough guy. This is something that I definitely had to have in my collection. Goes right along with my Hulk Hogan's and my Roddy Piper's, two of my favorite of all times. And let's take a look at the packaging. There he is. Cowboy Bob Orton. I like it. Got his hat up there. He's got his boxing gloves on. Looks like he's coming with extra hands down here. And there, if you see in the back, there's his cast. Pretty cool. Here's your side. We got the WWE Elite Collection, and then over here we have the WWE logo. Here we got WWE Legends. In the back with your cross sell. Up here you see Series 13. And on the back we've got quite a saying back here. I'll give it a read for you. The ace, Cowboy Bob Orton, was known for three things: being tough as nails, wearing a cast for an arm injury that oddly never seemed to heal, and acting as bodyguard for his friend Roddy Piper. In fact, on March 1st, 1986, he fought Piper's nemesis, Mr. T, in a boxing match, hoping to soften up the movie star. The overconfident Orton let his guard down once too often and resorted to cheating. That backfired, however, leading to WrestleMania 2 boxing match of Piper versus Mr. T with Orton in Piper's corner. And all hell broke loose, if you remember, in that match at the end. Bob Orton just couldn't stand it, had to get in the middle of it. And Mr. T was boxing Piper's ears off. Really good. Really good. I liked it. So here we go. Let's get Cowboy Bob Orton out of the package. Got our knife right here, and as I did in the other Legends, we got this kind of slant right here. So I'm going to open from this side where it's straight, make it a little easier on me. And of course, to repackage, it just seems like that will be easier to open and get back shut. So that's why we're going to go on the straightaway. And I think that was the only tape we have. Get in here and kind of wiggle our knife around, get that pried up. I do keep my packaging, as we all know. And slide him out. There he is. The back, we got that pretty sweet Legends back there. WWE Legends. Here he is in his plastic case. Cowboy Bob Orton. Does he look like Randy Orton? Well, he must, because it is his dad. Looks good. I like it. All right, let's try to get his accessories out first. We're going to have his hat. Man, that looks just like the hat. You could probably use that on a couple other figures if you wanted, but that looks just like Bob Orton's hat. And we have this over top the vest, which is nice. I like that. Thanks for doing that, Mattel. And we get his leather vest. That is super, super nice. Wow, look at that. Man. That looks good. Well stitched. Yep, stitching is really good on there. That is something else. I like it. That might be the best garment we've ever had. And now let's get his hands out. A right hand and a left hand both gripping. All right. Because out of the package, he's going to have his boxing gloves on. And here, yes, there's his cast. So I guess you take his, when you get his hand off, his glove off, you slide this on. And you can have his cast. Let's get Big Bob Orton out of here. We have a tie here. Get our scissors out. No wonder I'm having trouble. One. Is that the only tie-in we have? Oh, there was one. Oh, that went all the way down to his leg. So yes, indeed, it was one tie. There's the empty plastic. Set that to the side. And let's take a look at Cowboy Bob Orton. Check it out. Man, he seems pretty thin compared to the other wrestlers that we've opened. But I guess he wasn't huge as far as that, but he was tall. He was a tall man. Is he still alive? Is Bob Orton still alive? I want to say he is. Got his boxing gloves on. Nothing on the boxing gloves. They don't say anything. Just some white tape there on them. You can kind of... Okay, I see what's going on here. So these boxing gloves, you take one glove off and the cuff of the glove stays on there. So you would have to take that off too and then put his regular hand back on. There you go. So when you take that off, man, that's going to be hard to keep right there. Yep, that's the bottom part of the cuff of the glove. If they could have found a way to keep that on there, I got a feeling people are going to lose that. And let's see how bad that would look without that cuff. I bet it looks pretty silly. Yeah. Yeah, that looks pretty bad without that cuff. So that's something that you're really going to have to keep an eye on. If you was looking for a Bob Orton figure 20 years from now, and somebody said, I have the guy, but I have his gloves, but I don't have the cuff of the gloves. Well, you still might buy the Bob Orton, but you're not going to be able to display him with his gloves on until you get those cuffs. So if you're a guy that keeps everything, and they say, well, do you have the cuffs for the boxing gloves? Yep, I got them. So looks good. Got his blue trunks on. Got some neat black knee pads. I really like that they got Ace down there. He was Ace Bob Orton before he was ever Cowboy Bob Orton. Let's see. Let's talk about articulation here. Looks up very little. Looks down probably less than he looks up. Not very much movement there. Side to side, if there is any at all. Head all the way around. Shoulders. They are really tight, and I'm nervous about giving a T-pose. So that's all I'm getting right there. I think this figure is going to have to be heated up. Get your wife's hair dryer out. Well, Bob Orton, with that head of hair, he might have had his own hair dryer. Of course, looking at me, I don't have a hair dryer. I have no need for one. Back to articulation. Upper arm all the way around. Shoulder all the way around. Elbow, double jointed pinless elbows. We have wrists, rotate all the way around. Of course, removable hands. Up and back. Splits. Good splits, straddles. His front leg goes up, his back leg not so much. So slight straddles. Upper leg cut all the way around. Knees, let's see, double jointed pin knees. You can see the pin there underneath them knee pads. Upper boot cut and ankle articulation. Do we have them on a rocker? I don't think they're on a rocker, but of course, those bad ankles. Man, look at that. Look at that ankle. Yeah, there's got to be a way to fix that. I know they want articulation on those feet, but there's got to be a way to get better than that. Can he pirouette? Can Bob Orton pirouette? I bet he can. Being a boxer, they're pretty light on their feet. Yep, pirouette complete. He does have holes in the bottom of his feet if you have a stand. I don't have one near, so. Oh, I forgot ab crunch. Really good ab crunch on Bob. Looks good. I'm glad we have him in a Legends line. This is pretty neat. And for the time, no better time for me than those 1980 early, mid, late 80s for WWF. Oh, I loved it, man. I was going absolutely crazy. Me and my dad, my brother later was watching it. Friends would come over. We watched Saturday Night Main Event. Couldn't get enough of it. Let's check out his accessories on him. So let's pop his gloves off with his cuff. Don't lose that cuff, remember, that glove cuff. Let's see if we can get a cast. Oh, baby. This is going to be good. Was it his left hand or his right hand? Put it on his left hand. Let's get his other hand on here. Both gripping hands. I wish they would have given us one with a fist. So there he is with his, look at that. Got that cast on there, come down, bam! Hit Mr. T right in the head. And now we have the vest. Can we get this vest on? This is awesome. If you don't want anything to do with Cowboy Bob Orton, you might not even know who in the heck he is. I would still recommend getting this guy just for this vest, because this thing could go on a lot of guys. Stone Cold. Of course, he never had those tassels down there, but man, that looks good. Wow. Looks really good. Look at that. All the way around. Man. And now this is going to send it over the top. We put this hat on here, and things just might get out of hand here. Here we go. Let's see. I believe this is the brim. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Look at that. Woo! Cowboy Bob Orton. That is awesome. Dang. God. This is better than I thought. Once you get all that stuff on there, looks good. Boxing gloves here. Let us take a look at, who do I have? I have a Beefcake here. We got Brutus Beefcake. Is this about the same time, or is this a little earlier? Brutus the Barber. Well, he's not Brutus the Barber Beefcake yet. He's just Brutus Beefcake. I think this might be about the same time when he was in the Dream Team with Greg Valentine. And you had Bob Orton over there with Piper and Orndorff taking on Hulk Hogan and Mr. T. Yes! Man, this is good stuff. Really good stuff. Both these guys Hall of Famers? I'm not sure. Is Beefcake a Hall of Famer? Leave it in the comments if you know. And Bob Orton, I'm sure, has to be a Hall of Famer. Has to be. I don't know about Brutus Beefcake, though. If he's not, he should be. I believe he was good. He was a great heel. He was a great baby face. Orton the same way. Good baby face. Good. Just good. Man, he was good on the mat. He was just good everywhere. Well, until next time. Oh, yeah.